And we are at the Temple Theater with Tessa Souter. Tessa, welcome back to Rochester.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be back.
And you've come bearing gifts, or a special new gift.
A gift for you.
So talk about the new project.
This is kind of turned into the Derrick Satie project. Started with one song 20 years ago. And then for some reason, I felt like doing another one. And then the next thing I knew, I'd done a whole album. And Luis Perdomo, who's the pianist on it, is the incredible arranger. He did all these really amazing arrangements of the Satie. And then we did songs that I felt may be relevant to him, because I did a lot of research into his life, and he was absolutely bonkers person. Like, he only ate white food, he only fell in love once and never again, and he actually had, fights with her, even though they were together for 6 months, and he never ever got over it. In fact, when he died, he was 59, and his brother found 300 letters that he'd written to this woman, but never mailed. So that's how crazy he was. But an amazing. And also he had his own religion. He was really a character. I would have loved to have known him.
And there's a piece of music that he's best known for. What is that?
I think Gymnopédie number 1 is the we're not actually doing that today, but that's probably his most famous piece. And Lou Solov, who we played with a while back, he went to Eastman, and he's on that album, the Blood, Sweat and Tears album, where that's really how it got really known, I think.
Right. Speaking with Tessa Souter, so it's amazing because you're weaving in moments and music from Ron Carter and Wayne Shorter and Miles Davis. So what made you put that in and weave so easily and nicely? It was a great inspired idea to do that. What made you do it?
Well, I'm a big fan of all of those. I noticed with Wayne Shorter, like, say, Infantize or even ESP, he's a bit like Satie. He'll do something, he'll lay it out, and then he'll do something that sounds, the next verse will be almost the same, but there'll be something like, are you listening? Because I'm going to change something. And that's very much a Satie kind of thing. And then Mood doesn't do that, but Mood sort of felt Satie-ish, doesn't it? It's kind of moody. and then ESP, again, ESP has got that different ending that you don't expect, and that's very much like in Gymnopédie number 1, there's one note difference. One note is flattened at the end that's not flattened in the first time through. So it's sort of, to me, it made sense that they would say, yes, we loved Satie. I don't know that they did. I think they probably loved his disciples, people like Debussy and Ravel. So they probably got it like that. But
very cool. Speaking with Tessa Souter. So Tessa, talk about the impact and influence of Mark Murphy having on your career and life as a musician and an artist. Okay,
so I actually had an email from somebody who came and heard me like 20 years ago. Or more, actually, even, in England. And she mentioned Mark Murphy because she was a big fan of his and that she'd been to see him. And that the thing she liked about my singing, that she loved about his singing, was that you never knew she felt what I was going to do. I don't know. I don't feel like that. But anyway, she felt like that. So I would say that I learned stuff like that from him. Because when I met him, I was kind of hung up on being perfect. And he encouraged me to scat, which I actually don't do, but I do scat on my own at home and stuff because it makes you more relaxed. And he had a big influence on my life. I mean, I looked after him. He was like my baby, even though he called himself my granddad. And me his grandbaby, but really it was the other way around. He was like this fabulous child, just never never really kind of grew up. He was, was like a kid, which was fantastic. So, and I did a lot with him. People used to send me his emails because he spoke in this kind of hip speak. And they'd send me emails, I've just got this email from Mark, what on earth is he saying? And I could translate, because I was like that, that scene in Airplane where the woman comes and says, I speak jive. It was kind of, I spoke jive.
Barbara Billingsley. Leave it to Beaver.
Yeah.
So again, welcome back to Rochester, and so excited to hear you perform this live in concert.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.